Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Tevaron here, and welcome back to Aviary Attorney, where it appears, with what little information we have, we are going to trial. Falcon and Sparrowson stand inside the marble portico of the Palais de Justice, awaiting the opening of the Tribunal de Grande Instance. Again, I'm not familiar with French pronunciation, so bear with me. Are you nervous, Falcon? Yes?
Well, of course I'm nervous. We're woefully underprepared for this case. 2 days. We had only 2 days to prepare. How are we expected to get anything done in that time frame?
Yeah, I don't know that we found anything that proves she's innocent. Or anything about anything, honestly.
Calm your feathers, Falcon. We can do this.
Hello?
Monsieur Falcon, Petit Sparrowson. Is there anything you need me to do?
No. We've got a handle on things.
Falcon was just telling me how confident he was feeling about the case.
Well, thank you for backing me up, Sparrowson. That is awesome.
That's wonderful. I just know you two will pull through.
Let's move it along, fellas.
Oh, I'll be watching from inside. Do your best for me, Monsieur Falcon.
We will.
Hopefully our best is good enough.
Are we ready?
Yes, we're ready.
If you say so. I don't feel we're ready, but I guess you're the lawyer with the experience. I'm certainly not.
All right, settle down, everyone. Is everyone here? J.J. Falcon present. The defense is ready, Your Honor.
Rupert Remington present. The readiest prosecution, Your Honor.
This must be the fellow that Sparrowson was familiar with that hopped away.
Oh, darn, that's not it. Oh, gosh, where are my notes?
Ah, I knew it.
Knew what?
Rupert and I went to Paris Law School together. He was in all of my classes.
Oh, was he smart?
No, he always scored the second worst marks in the class.
Who scored the worst, you?
I can only assume he bumbled through the final exams on the luck of his 2 rabbit's feet. Unless he's improved considerably, you might already have this trial in the bag.
That's good to know. But say, Sparrowson, if Rupert scored the second lowest marks in the class, then who scored the lowest?
I choose to exercise my right to not self-incriminate.
That's what I thought.
Oh, here it is. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor.
Are the jury all present? All present and accounted for, Your Honor?
Hey, Falcon, I thought there were only 6 members of the jury for cases like this. Why do I count to 8?
Are they standby jurors in case someone has to be recused?
Oh, those 2 birds with the funny hats are assessors, the associate judges.
Oh, okay. Sitting down there on each side of the front row. Everything seems to be in order, so let us begin. The court is now in session for the trial of Dame Cataline de Miao. Prosecution, please call your first witness to the stand.
Oh, gosh, are we there already? Okay, I choose to call the officer in charge of the murder investigation, Inspector Valerti, to the witness stand.
Inspector Valerti, please approach the stand and recite the oath.
As you will, Your Honor. I swear to speak without hatred and without fear, to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth.
Monsieur, Inspector, please state your name and your occupation for the record.
My name is Inspector Just Valerti.
Or is it Justy? Juste?
I am a servant to the law.
a scourge of the gutter rats that plague this city. I have enforced the law for over 20 years, and I shall continue until I bring the infamous Viridian Killer to justice. My path begins 18 years ago.
I don't think we need that much backstory. We're speaking about the case at hand, the murder that happened a week ago. Let's stick to the questions, Inspector.
Oh, of course, Your Honor.
Oh, great. I was hoping we could get one of those bumbling, cuddly officers, but instead, we're stuck with lawful goody two-shoes. I bet this guy would turn in his own mother if he saw her littering. So, Inspector, is it true that you are the lead investigator on this case?
Aye, that is correct. I was also among the first to arrive at the scene of the crime.
Then perhaps you can walk us through what you witnessed upon your arrival?
Absolutely. Just after 7:30, we were alerted and brought to the scene by the housemaid of Baron Rorgel. At the scene of the crime, we found Dame Caterline Jimiel. She was standing over the corpse of Monsieur Granui with his blood on her paws.
That sounds incriminating. Are we sure she's innocent?
Well, that sounds like an open and shut case in my humble opinion. No more questions, Your Honor.
Though I guess she could have been attempting to aid him and got blood on her that way.
Bloody paws. Nobody told me that detail.
Well, we have very little information, in all honesty. That's what I was complaining about. We know nothing about how the murder took place. We don't know what her alibi is or what her account of what happened was.
Keep it together, Falcon. We're about to be given the opportunity to cross-examine the witness. That's your opportunity to find flaws in the inspector's testimony.
I know what a cross-examination is, Sparrowson. I'm a lawyer, for Christ's sake. Of course, I know this.
You may begin your cross-examination, Monsieur Falcon. Okay, cross-examine the witness to find flaws in his testimony. Select a key phrase that you find suspicious, and Falcon will press the witness for information. Ask the right questions to bring the truth to light. Avoid pressing for pointless details. The judge and jury don't like having their time wasted. Select a statement to question. Oh, cool. We were alerted and brought to the scene by the housemaid of Baron Rorgel. At the scene of the crime, we found Dame Caterline. She was standing over the sliced open corpse of Monsieur Granui with blood on her paws. Tell me about the blood on her paws.
Inspector, you say Dame Caterline had blood on her paws. Correct. Blood clung to her fur like guilt to a convict.
Whose blood was it?
Whose blood was it? Ha, what a question. It was Monsieur Granui's, of course. How can you be so sure?
I object. This line of questioning is absurd. There was only one murder victim that night, Falcon.
Oh, I know what the contradiction is here. They had to eat bloody rare steak with their bare paws, so to speak. No cutlery was provided.
The blood on Dame Caterline's paws could have only belonged to one person, Monsieur Granui. Judge, Falcon's trying to delay the trial by asking pointless questions.
You shut your mouth, Rabbington. I'm afraid the prosecution may have a point, Monsieur Falcon. Oh, I just realized the name was Maxime. Is that a female name in French? Maybe I gave the judge the wrong voice, but we'll stick with it since we started. Do you have any reason to suspect that the blood belonged to someone other than Monsieur Granui? I do.
I do, Your Honor. Actually, I have more than suspicion. I have evidence that the blood on Dame Cateline's paws had nothing to do with the murder.
This is foolish, time-wasting, Falcon. If the blood on Dame Cateline's paws didn't come from the victim, then where did the blood come from?
Oh, we get to use our evidence. The bloody rare steak, perhaps.
On the evening of the murder, Dame Cataline ate a bloody rare steak.
Is this true, Monsieur Rabbington?
Well, in a manner of speaking, I suppose steak may have been on the menu.
Then, Inspector, would you acknowledge the possibility that the blood on the lady's paws did not belong to the victim, but to the steak? Well.
Wait, don't answer that, Inspector.
He kind of has to answer. Unless, well, I don't know much about the French judicial system, but in the U.S., he has to answer unless it would incriminate him.
It is a possibility.
No, that's so detrimental to my case.
Intriguing. Pretty convincing. You gained a little favor with the jury. Excellent.
So, Inspector Valerti, it is possible that you arrested an innocent bystander simply for being a messy eater?
Now, hold on just a minute, Falcon. You are overlooking something quite crucial.
And that is?
Dame Cataline is an elegant, bourgeois kitten. She was no doubt brought up with, flawless etiquette and, perfect table manners.
So you don't know that they had no cutlery. That's what we're getting at? You're going to suggest she would never dirty her paws by touching the bloody rare steak with them?
At the banquet, she would have eaten the steak with a fork in her left hand and a knife in her right, like any proper, civilized animal. How could she possibly have gotten blood on her paws with such good manners?
Oh, that is a good question. Or at least, it would be to any ordinary dinner banquet. But as it happens, something was missing from that particular banquet, something that forced Dame Cataline to eat with her paws.
The missing cutlery, which was swiped by the housemaid.
Dame Cataline was forced to eat steak with her paws because the silverware of the household had been previously stolen.
Stolen? I don't recall any mention of that in the police report.
Because they are incompetent.
We weren't aware of anything missing from the Rorgel residence when we performed the initial investigation. But as it happened, Baron Rorgel approached us about this very subject last night.
Oh.
Innocent, perhaps? What a twist! You gained a little favor. What is the meaning of all this? Bloody steak? Misplaced silverware? Inspector, was your investigation so lax that you overlooked these basic facts in your initial report?
Lax? My investigation? Judge, I assure you, I am the most thorough investigative officer on the force.
Then it is amazing that the Parisian police managed to solve any crimes at all.
Oh, dear.
Be on your way, Inspector. Perhaps do a little inspecting for your next case. Well, sorry, Valerti.
Fine, so be it. Messieurs, until next time.
Prosecutor, I trust your next witness is ready?
Yes, of course, Your Honor. I call upon, let's see, Monsieur Rabito Rubino, the, photographer who attended the banquet on the night of the murder.
Monsieur Rabito Rubino, please approach the stand and recite the oath. How does it go? I swear to speak without hatred and without fear, to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth. It's a little cliché, to be perfectly honest.
Could, the witness please introduce himself for the, court record?
As if anybody in this courtroom does not immediately recognize me. I am the great Monsieur Rabito Rubino, cutting-edge photographer and visionary. I don't just take people's pictures, I capture their very essence. Je suis l'artiste. to Azun Pipe. You may have seen my works in hip magazines, Le Blanche or C'est Cohet. I can send you tweets if you like. They have Twitter in the 1800s?
What on earth is a tweet?
Bird-to-bird communication. Come on, Falcon. It's the 19th century. Get with the times already.
Yes. Your works are very, impressive, Monsieur Rabino. But let's get down to business. Could you tell us your, activities on the night of the murder?
Very well. I was hired by Baron Rorgel to capture the evening's events. I arrived at 7 in the evening. I pointed my camera and captured the beauty of the banquet in one fantastic photograph. Then I billed Baron Rorgel and left.
Like a true artiste.
And, with regards to the photograph itself, who did you photograph?
I thought you might ask. I brought a copy so that you could all see for yourselves.
Oh, very good. Let's take a closer look.
Is this the same picture we have? Can I look at my evidence here? Oh, no, this is not the same photograph. We have one with Dame Catterline in the middle, whereas he is showing one with Baron Rorgel in the middle. He took more than one photograph. He is a lying artist.
My word, this is an exquisite picture, isn't it? So let's see, who do we have here? In the middle, we see Baron Rorgel, the lion who hosted the event. On the left, we see Signor Pourtois de Miao, the father of the defendant, Dame Catterline. And finally, we see the housemaid, Colleen Duhat, who I suspect may have snuck into the picture uninvited. As you can see, two people are clearly absent from the photograph. The first is the victim, Monsieur Grenouille. The second is the defendant, Dame Catterline de Miao. Quite suspicious, wouldn't you agree?
Just a moment. Monsieur Rabington, this proves nothing. So, the defendant and the victim were not photographed with the others. That doesn't mean that they were in the garden together at that point.
Hold your horses, Falcon. I'm not done yet.
The prosecution may continue. Oh my god, I didn't even see that. There's hands on the clock now. That has to be added in, right? 18th century Photoshop?
Behind the photograph subjects, we see a wall clock with the time set at 7:30.
Ours doesn't have hands on the clock, right? I thought I remembered. Can we zoom in? No. I don't think it had hands on the clock, though.
Now, why is that significant? Well, as Inspector Valerti told us earlier, that was the exact time the murder took place. Do you see, Falcon?
Yes, I see that you have tainted evidence.
Every suspect has an alibi at the time of the murder, save for Dame Catterline herself.
Hey, Falcon, that photograph doesn't seem right. It looks different from the one we borrowed from Rabino's studio.
I see it too. Our photograph shows Colleen Duhat, Dame Catterline, and Signor Pourtois. But Monsieur Rabino's photograph shows Baron Rorgel where Dame Catterline should be standing.
Is he edited in, or did he take more than one photograph? The hands have to be edited in, right? Everyone, or she told us that they'd been missing forever. Which, I guess we can't really take everything she says at face value since she is stealing the Baron blind.
If we assume that only one photograph was taken, then this demonstrates that one of the photographs must have been edited in some way.
You should just slam that evidence down. Be like, bam, inconsistency. This whole courtroom was out of order. Case closed.
In other words, objection?
I can't do that.
Well, I suppose you could be a little more delicate with your words.
No, I think he means he can't admit that he has the stolen photograph.
No, I mean I can't do that because our evidence was illegally obtained. If I were to present it, Monsieur Rubino would ask how we acquired it, and the whole trial could derail. In a worst-case scenario, I could lose my legal license, and we would be arrested for theft.
Well, we don't want that then.
No, we don't. I should tread lightly. Your Honor, I would like to cross-examine the witness.
Very well. The defense may proceed. It's a waste of time, if you ask me. Photographs are rock-solid evidence.
Think we're about to prove otherwise. By bringing up the clock hands, that's the only thing we can safely bring up. Alright, select a statement to question. Think I want to question about one photograph? Oh, we don't have the option. We arrived at 7 p.m., set up my camera. Magnificent photograph. I then billed Baron Rorgel and left. He said he was going to get his in 3 days. I don't remember if he said if he was billed already or not. I feel like we should be able to question the one magnificent photograph. Maybe we can question this and it will pull that in.
Let's take a closer look at this photograph.
I see a mistake. The clock hands.
Just to clarify, Monsieur Rubino, photographs are a direct reflection of reality, are they not?
That is correct. The photograph process leaves no room for bias or inaccuracies.
That is most curious because I see a mistake.
A mistake? Impossible. I just told you, monsieur, the camera is a perfect, unbiased device. The photographs it produces are flawless. Falcon, I'm not seeing any mistakes. Perhaps you could be more specific?
Certainly.
Click on the area that we believe contains a mistake. There. The clock?
The clock in this photograph. There is something not right about it.
Well, isn't that convenient? The defense sees something wrong with the key piece of evidence that implicates his client.
Don't give me that cocky tone, Monsieur Rabbington. I have evidence that there's something wrong with the clock in that picture.
We can't present this. I guess we present this. Has no hands?
The photograph clearly shows the clock's hands pointing at 7 and 6.
That much is self-evident.
Which is most curious because the clock in the lounge of Chateau Crenier has no hands.
It has no hands?
The clock is merely a decorative piece, a talking item. Feel free to ask Baron Rorgel or his housemaid if you have doubts. Monsieur Rubino, how do you explain this discrepancy?
Well, he added them in, obviously.
I don't know. There must be some sort of mistake. My camera is flawless.
There is no mistake, monsieur. Your photograph depicts something that does not exist in the real world.
Maybe there was an error in the printing process.
An error precisely where the clock's hand should be? Please, monsieur, don't patronize us. Allow me to offer a more plausible explanation. You, Monsieur Rubino, edited this photograph.
Edited?
I'm no expert, but I suspect that you used paint or ink to carefully put hands upon the clock. It would have been a simple task, considering that the clock face was bare. One could even speculate that you specifically chose to include a handless clock in the photograph just to simplify the editing process.
Are you implying that he's the murderer? That he actually did it with foreplanning?
Falcon, your reasoning is absurd. Why would the witness do such a thing?
Is it not obvious? By showing the photograph to have taken place at precisely 7:30, it clears the photographer's subjects of suspicion. In other words, Monsieur Rubino created a perfect alibi.
Is this true, Monsieur? Was the alibi for someone in the photograph or for yourself?
Of course, this raises further questions. Who is the witness protecting? And why was Monsieur Rubino coerced, bribed, threatened? Enough silence. Let's hear some answers, Monsieur Rubino.
Fine. You've got me. I'm guilty. I did it all.
You killed the frog?
You did?
You're confessing to the murder of Monsieur Granouille?
What? No. I have no idea who kills the frog. I'm just admitting that I'm guilty of producing fraudulent photographs. I was ordered to make changes to the printed photographs, and yes, that included adding hands to the clock.
You were ordered. By whom?
I dare not say.
Monsieur Robineau, I strongly advise you to answer the defense's question. You have pledged to speak without fear, after all.
With respect, Judge, I fear his claws more than I fear the punishment of the justice system. I shall name no names.
Well, if it's someone who was at the party, someone with claws would either be the Baron, who is a lion, or the Mademoiselle's father, who is also a cat.
His claws? Did you hear that, Falcon?
That is most unfortunate. Monsieur Robineau, we cannot and shall not torture names out of you. We don't live under the Ancien regime, after all. But since you have admitted to falsifying evidence, then we cannot keep you on the stand as a witness. Take your leave. You shall be charged with perjury in due course.
I can't protest. That's the least I deserve for my failure as an artiste. Good day, messieurs.
Intriguing, pretty convincing. Gained a little more favor with the jury. This is going pretty well, especially since I felt that we had no evidence at all. Or very little.
So, the clock's hands were painted on. So what? It doesn't matter. The photograph still depicts Dame Cataline as absent close to the time of the murder. That's significant.
I don't know that it is. I think it's just circumstantial.
Don't be dense, Monsieur Rabington. If the photograph is not completely genuine, then it cannot be considered reliable evidence.
Why not? It's still a portrayal of the, night's events.
Because if we accept that one part of the picture was edited, then we must accept the possibility that other parts were too. It is possible that Dame Cataline was painted out. Even worse, it is possible that another person was painted in. We know that the witness was trying to cover for someone, so all possibilities must be accounted for.
So, what are you saying, Falcon? That the housemaid paid off the photographer? Or was it Signor Courtois de Miao, perhaps?
I don't think so. The housemaid lacks a means or motive, and it wouldn't make sense for Signor Courtois to implicate his own daughter.
Unless he dislikes his own daughter.
Well, surely you're not suggesting that the honest and beloved Baron Morgel deliberately tried to frame Dame Cataline?
I don't know.
Because that would be the most outlandish theory yet. The Baron is a pillar of our community. He would never do such a thing.
Monsieur Rabington, I'm not here to throw accusations. That's the job of you, the prosecutor. However,
mayhaps I should offer my opinion. Hello, Baron. Fancy seeing you here. But I think that we will get into the examination and cross-examination of the Baron in the next episode. Thank you so much for watching. I do hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, let me know in the comments and by leaving a like below. Of course, subscribe if you'd like to see more in the future. I have been Tevaron, and until next time, friends, be excellent to each other.